Hello everyone, I'm Lazy Grouse, and we're taking a look at all the units from Shadow of Change, and today it's Kislev's turn, which I think got some of the coolest units. And first up we got Madrastankia, the new legendary lord, and unfortunately she's not moving around in her famous chicken-legged house in battle, and I can see why they decided against it. Instead she got a chariot pulled by things in the woods, and it's not a chicken-legged house, but I think she still looks pretty cool, especially with the things in the woods pulling her around. So in combat she's a chariot lord, and she can do some really good damage against infantry by doing chariot things, but she also has a ranged attack that deals explosion damage that she shoots in 360 degrees while moving. So while she weaves in and out of infantry units, she shoots her exploding shots, so she can do some really good damage just riding around and doing her thing. But she's very specialized against infantry, so if she gets trapped by cavalry or some large units, she's in trouble. But she is a witch, so of course she got some magic as well, and she's got a mix of shadow and beast spells, which fits her very well since most of the spells are hexes, and she's got this whole curse theme going in campaign. She also has Goulias, which heals an area and replenishes vigor, and she shoots a spirit bear that explodes for big damage. And they also get the Hag Witch, and they are the hero version of Madrastankia, so they ride around on their own janky sleds and can plow through infantry while shooting their Hag missiles, and they come with 3 different lores: Beast, Death and Shadow, and depending on which lore they bring, they get a special ability. Beast can summon things in the woods, Death can give damage resistance in an area, and Shadow lowers missile resistance, block chance and armor on one enemy. So they feel a bit unique between the types, although the Beast one is probably best since the thing in the woods are pretty strong to summon. And speaking of which, the things from the woods are a really cool looking monstrous unit that are great at flanking around and just eating infantry units. Because they're very fast, they got decent combo stats and damage with high AP and anti-infantry, so they can just rip through archer lines or get some juicy rear charges into frontline engagements. They are pretty squishy though, so they're best used as flankers or hit and run units. They also got the Akshina Ambushers, and they're a really strong crossbow hybrid unit with Vanguard and Stalk, so they can be used in some sneaky tactics, but they also just kinda outclass Streltsy, because they got better combat stats, longer range, more missile strength, and they don't get obstructed like gunpowder units for the same cost as Streltsy. The only upside Streltsy have on them is a bit more armor, but it definitely does not compensate for the other stat differences. Which is unfortunate, because I love Streltsy, but I guess they are still the cooler unit, because they got axe rifles, which is something I guess. And they also get the big awesome looking incarnate elemental of beasts, and it absolutely annihilates large units because it has great attack with really good AP damage and 35 anti-large. And it's also really good in blobs because it has a permanent flock of doom around it, which deals a lot of damage in a blobby fight, but it doesn't have very good armor or defense, and it is a big target, so it can be taken down pretty easily with ranged units or other anti-large units, so it is a bit of a glass cannon. But it has some of the coolest attack animation and it looks awesome, so I just enjoy watching this thing go. And they also got some regiments of renown, and first off, they got Mordheim Bale Wolves, and they are a thing in the woods with Dark Blood Tainted on attack, which prevents any healing. And that is huge against some factions that rely heavily on their healing, like Vampire Counts, Nurgle or Ogres. Although, they won't get a lot of use of their anti-infantry against Ogres, but stopping a Troll Guts is insanely strong. The Wolfhearts are Akshina Ambushers, and they got Pack Trap, which nets a unit for 25 seconds, which is more than enough time for a couple of ranged units to take down some high value monster or characters. But it can also be used defensively for something like tying down flankers that's charging towards your archer line, so they're really good to have for the net utility, and they're also really strong ranged units, so these guys are incredibly strong. Unlike the Boydenov's Brawlers, unfortunately, because it feels like they just forgot to finish making the Streltsy ROR unit, because they have no abilities to set them apart, they just have a bit better attack, defense and missile strength compared to normal Streltsy units, but also lower range. I feel like this is the worst kind of ROR, because there's nothing unique about them, they just kinda take up an ROR spot. Hopefully they'll change these in a patch eventually, because this is just kinda sad. But that's Kislev, and I think they got some of the coolest units in the DLC, except they really did Streltsy dirty by making them obsolete, and then not even giving them a cool ROR. But that's it for now, thank you so much for watching, and what do you think of the new units? Tell me in the comments, and I'll see you next time for the Cathay units. Bye bye!